Yeah, well, as I said, my annual checkup would have been in February of each year. I was quite disciplined in respect to that. I would see each work year starting in January, February, and each year what I would do would be to set myself a bit of a strategic plan for the things I wanted to achieve with the union that year. And part of the strategic plan was to take myself off to the doctor in February, because I think that, you know, you've got to think about the fact that you live in a very high pressure world, and you've got to be prepared to have your body in such a state that you can cope with that pressure, both mentally and physically. So I've always been a keen runner and keen exerciser. So in February of each year, I went along and I did the blood test and the digital rectum examination, and came back in about March. Was told by Dr. Larkins that I needed to go and see a specialist and have a biopsy test. I had that in around April, and I then was told by the specialist that I needed to have the operation. Indication was that because the biopsy is a pretty rugged situation on your prostate, what they like to do is to let it consolidate for a couple of months. So I continued to work through May, went annual Federal Council meeting, which is the big meeting of the union as each year. We then did our July seminar at Moonee Valley. We had about 600 people come along and did our occupational health and safety seminar. And 1 week later, on the 3rd of August, I had my operation. And probably the harsh recovery bit, I suppose, would have went for 7 or 10 days after that. And then there's been a steady progress. I mean, it's not all downside. I mean, Derby Day last year is the last Saturday in October, and I went to the Derby with my son, you know, without a great deal of discomfort. And I've worked my way through since October to where we are now, this October, and as I say, I ran the Melbourne Marathon just the other Sunday. On the way through, I set myself a task this year to run a number of tan time trials on a running club, which is the first Saturday of each month. Started that in about May. I ran a 10 kilometre run in around about June. I ran a half marathon in July, and the full marathon in October. So it is one of those things that you progress your way through, and your body recovers, and, you know, provided you're quite diligent with it and, you know, feed it well and look after yourself. And as I say, smoking and alcohol, you know, it's okay to have a few beers, but don't overdo it. And smoking is just simply not good for you at all under any circumstances. So that was the progress of the matter.